Pickaxe.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
Gary the Snake.
And your last name?
The Snake.
Dream Team.
New habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG. And right now you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months with a special limited time offer. Ends March 24th. After 3 months, plan auto renews at $12.99 a month. Terms apply.
As a chef, I know flavor doesn't begin in the kitchen. It begins on the land. And West Home's nature-led Australian Wagyu is a story written in the landscape of Northern Australia. Cooking is storytelling, and West Home Wagyu carries a story of Northern Australia itself. Raw, powerful, and deeply authentic. It's a testament to the passion and care raised in the rhythm of Northern Australia. I'm Chef Maylin from 88 Club in Los Angeles, and I invite you to visit westhome.com/Maylin to learn more. And taste a story only West Home nature-led Australian Wagyu can tell. That's westhome.com/MEILIN.
Hey y'all, it's time for Rolling Dice and Taking Names. In this episode, the guys review Core of Discovery, and I will join Marty for a review of the brand new Arkham Horror card game core set. Plus, the guys make their picks for this year's Video Game Hall of Fame.
Hello and welcome to Rolling Dice and Taking Names. This is episode 373, Grand Illusion. My name is Marty.
And I'm Tony.
Please tell me I haven't been out of the loop and somebody from Styx has passed away.
No.
Because that would be devastating to me right now, and I don't need this.
Not to my knowledge. I mean, has anybody from Styx died? Dennis DeYoung or Tommy?
The original drummer has passed away, but that was many, many, many years ago.
Okay, no, I don't know of anybody. I just thought it was appropriate based on what we're covering here and some of our topics here at the beginning of the show. I said, and I also was checking around. I was like, okay, what have we not done? Have we done Grand Illusion? And we hadn't, according to our song list, which has been, brought to us by Jerry Reese, a listener
Thank
of the
you, Jerry.
show for a long time. Yep, long time listener. Thank you, Jerry.
That's another one of those albums I need to get on vinyl. I don't have that one on vinyl. That's a good one.
That is a good one. That's one of my favorite Styx, Grand Illusion.
From beginning to end, is it my favorite? Potentially, yes. I'm also a big fan of Paradise Theater too. Beginning to end, I think it's good too. But Grand Illusion with Come Sail Away, Miss America, Fooling Yourself, which actually may be my all-time favorite Styx song.
Oh, yes. I forgot that was on there. Yeah.
Tommy Shaw is just an amazing singer. Anyway, I could pontificate all day long on Styx. Hey,
hold on.
Yeah.
Before you do that, you might as well, because this is going to be a short one. This show may be shorter than our 5-minute initiative of our last show, which was pointed out to us on our Discord channel, which was way longer than 5 minutes. But that's all right.
I almost didn't put in the 5-minute initiative intro, outro, but I thought, what the heck? Will anybody say anything? Somebody said something.
Same guy who's been doing the songs for us. Thank you, Jerry Reese.
Thank you, Jerry. No, good call. Good way to call us out. Hey, you want to call us out? Why don't you go and make sure to sub to this show, whether you listen to Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, YouTube, wherever. Please sub to the channel. We never ask people to do this, and we're supposed to. We should ask you to sub. And also, if you never left a ratings for the show, whether it be on Apple ratings, Spotify, do so. We would love it. We would love some comments, but also just helps the algorithm, right? More ratings means more people's listening, which could generate the algorithm to help other people potentially find us. So again, sub to us in your favorite podcast platform, and please leave a review. Now, as we're talking, Tony said it was going to be short, but he keeps adding notes to the list here. So, he's even adding another topic to the intro. So maybe this show will not be as short as expected. I will say before we get into the first topic here, Tony, you might have some news for the audience here.
I might. I mean, I've gotten freaking old. I've gotten old like you. That's right. I am now a granddaddy. Yay, granddaddy time.
Yay.
Yay. So, yes, my daughter, she had a baby boy. And he is doing well. She's doing well. And so we spent a week with them. So that's pretty much why we're light on games. I missed game night. I missed the topic we're going to talk about next, the Star Wars Unlimited release event that you, Bert, and Mark went to. We'll spend a week down there while that was going on. And all I can say is since 29 3/4 of a year since she was born, things have really changed. Now, you've got 2 grandbabies, and it's just interesting how things are different in how they do things in the hospital. I don't remember all this testing. I don't remember all this stuff that went on, but that was 29 3/4 years ago for me, so I have probably forgotten a lot.
What stuck out to you?
I think it was a lot of the testing that they were doing with the blood work and everything. I don't remember all that with Rebecca. I know that, you always worry about the bilirubin or the jaundice, and how they're able to put them under lights or indirect. And so I don't remember that. It may have happened and I was oblivious, but
You're
also
probably oblivious.
And
I mean, don't you remember heel pricking and taking blood samples and all that stuff?
I don't remember that. I really, really don't.
I went through it 3 times, so it's probably more fresh. I got to see it multiple times.
And the umbilical cord thing, for us, it was, you got to slather that thing up so it falls off right. And
yep.
She's not having to do that because it's going to fall off fine without a whole lot of work. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I do remember you're supposed to put Vaseline. Is that what it was? Something on the umbilical cord area?
But did Adam have to do that for his too? I don't know.
That I don't remember. Now that part I don't know.
And the delivery rooms, and I'll admit she was okay. So funny story, real quick. And so we get my daughter. We go down. She's going to go to the hospital, and we know she's going to be induced. Okay, that's fine. So she says, "Okay, I will be at St. Joseph Candler Hospital in Savannah." Google's my friend. Google Maps is my friend. So I type in St. Joseph Candler. Oh, there it is on the map. Boom, hit it. So we're on our way. After the delivery, we said there we got to all come and see us. Where everything's good to go. So we drive to St. Joseph Candler Hospital in Savannah, Georgia. We get out, we go up. She's in room 310. So we get off on the 3rd floor, walking down the hallway, 309, 311. Okay, it's 310 on the other side. Avani, no, it's 308, 312. Where's 310? Nurse comes up and she goes, "I'm sorry, can I help y'all?" We go, "Yes, we're looking for room 310, Rebecca, delivery." She goes, "Oh, yeah, you're at the wrong hospital." I'm like, I say, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, there's St. Joseph Candler. This is St. Joseph's. She's at St. Joseph Candler."
Oh, of course. I mean, anybody would have known that.
It was, and of course, our kids today may have a little issue, they had a lot on their brains. But and Donna pointed this out. She goes, "Aren't you glad there was no room 310?
Go busting in there. Hey,
whoa, who are you?
Was it even a maternity floor?
No.
Okay, all right. So that didn't trigger anything right there?
We didn't know all the doors are closed, right?
Ah, okay.
And the lady goes, "Yeah, we don't do babies here." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I could just imagine busting in on someone, and it's probably someone lonely who hasn't had anybody visit them in a while, and they're, then we're stuck there.
Oh, stay and visit for a while. Okay.
Okay. So
how far away was it to the other hospital?
10 minutes, normal traffic, 20 with traffic. And so it was about 20 minutes. So we got there without any issue. But always something's happening. But so what did I miss at the Star Wars Unlimited release event? And what series is this? Remind everybody what's coming out.
Yeah, so this is Lawless Time that just came out in Star Wars Unlimited. And we've been playing since day one, and we got a couple of our friends from our game group started playing at the end of last year. They got to attend their first. No, Bart may have attended one. Anyway, so they attended a pre-release event, and basically this is where it's like before the first official weekend that it comes out. You go in, you get a pre-release kit, which is basically 6 packs of cards. You open them up, build a deck, and you play. And you play 3 rounds. And the store that we go to, which is To The Table, shout out to The Table and Mike and the owner. They're out in Stallings, North Carolina. Always runs an amazing event out there. We had 18 people show up for the event, which I think is pretty good for, this is the 7th set. So we're going into the 3rd year. So there's still interest, which is always good. This set has been very well received so far. What's going to be fun is over the next few weeks, all four of us are going to play in what we're going to do an escalation league. So there were two, what we called quote unquote starter decks for this set. They're actually officially called spotlight decks. And what we're going to do is first 2 weeks, we're playing each of the spotlight decks against each other. Then we open up 3 packs per week for 4 weeks and start modifying the deck. So with the pool that you open of cards, you could just build whatever deck you want. We'll play a little tournament. Just kind of have, it's a good way to kind of learn the cards and mess around with some of the new leaders and stuff like that. And we've also, all of us bought some booster boxes and are opening through those. But I assume that after we're done with this little escalation league, we'll just start making our own decks and kind of play with each other.
How'd you do? Don't bury the lead. How'd you do?
I went 1 and 2.
If you played 3 games, 1 and 2.
Well, no, I couldn't remember whether it was 2 and 1 or 1 and 2. But
okay.
The last one was close, and I couldn't remember whether I won or lost. I did lose that one. The first one, it was funny. So one of the leaders is Leia. Before I go in, I don't do a lot of research. Now, a lot of people there at this store are very competitive. So these are the guys that, they look at the cards as they come out. They start, theory crafting and deck crafting before the set ever releases. So they know a lot of the cards already. I typically find a video that will rank the leaders for a sealed event, say this is ones you want to use, this is ones you don't want to use. At the bottom of that list was Leia. So my first game was against somebody who played Leia. I went, oh, okay, well, obviously they don't. I watched a video. I know that's not a good deck. Dude annihilated me with that deck because he knew he got the cards that he wanted, built an incredible 30-card deck, and just leveled me with it. So that's the thing about this game. It is very much skill-based. It is, if you know the game and you got the cards, you can make a good deck and you're probably going to win. So that's what happened that first game for sure.
And who were you playing?
I played Aura Singh, Aurra. It's a character I didn't know. I don't know where she comes from, whether it be the animation or whatever. So her thing is, as an action, you can exhaust her and defeat a non-leader unit with 1 HP or less remaining, which ended up being useful. You knock somebody down to where they just got 1 health less. I can tap her, kill that unit.
Yeah, that was the leader you played when we did a mock one at game night. That was who you were using. I remember that.
Yeah. So that's another reason why I did it. So I knew how she worked, and she was actually considered one of the better leaders to make for sealed. And it was funny when I was playing, it's like, oh yeah, everybody's playing that. I went, oh, okay, well, of course they are, because they know how. But that's an easy one to build a deck for. Some of the other leaders, it's like, hey, if you got an underworld type card or this type card, you got to have those specific cards in your deck for it to work. This one, it doesn't matter. It'll work with anything.
Yeah, I know when we were playing, it was, in our little mock thing before I left, it was going to be based on, my packs seem to have strong aspect in 1 or 2 colors, and it really didn't matter for me. Luckily, I found the leader to go with that. So it was kind of like, I really don't want to use this one, but I don't have enough cards in the other aspects to pull off even 30. Now I can always supplement that and use out of aspect cards, and then just use those to be resources if I draw them. And I'm like, yeah, but what happens if you get too many,
Well, that's one thing. Yeah, with this set, there are the regular bases are the one where you can take an epic action with that base and play a card without having to deal with an aspect cost. So if you can play something out of aspect for free, so you get to do that once per game if you use that base, which is helpful.
And I do like, when we were playing it, one of the things that I'm liking about this, and just the few games that we played, was the credit system, where the credits are generated by when played, generate a credit, when defeated, generate a credit. And what credits can do is they're not resources, but they can be used as resources. And it allows you that, let's say I've got a big old 5, cost 5 unit, and I only got 4 resources out there. But if I get this one out, then the start of the 5th round, it will be untapped and do a lot of damage and can really be a threat to the board. So by having these credits, I'll be able to tap the 4 resources. I know I'm not supposed to use tap, but I am. And then spend that credit. And now this 5 comes out on the board, tapped, but ready for the next round. And that to me was really key. And when we were playing, I was able to say, ooh, I've generated these resources. Now I'm able to get 2 cards out where I could only get 1 out. So I'm really liking that. I'm going to be interested to see as, we get more and more cards into the deck, see how we can utilize that feature.
I saw one person play a deck at the event. It's one of the starter leaders in the Spotlight deck, Jabba. And his thing is pay 1, exhaust him, return a friendly underworld unit to its owner's hand, create a credit token.
Ooh.
Again, in a sealed event, you got to make sure you have enough underworld units for this to work. But there was a guy that actually drew enough. And, somebody's almost dead or something like that. Well, you just put it back in your hand and basically play it again. It kind of heals it, right? Sure, you got to pay for it again. But in that process, he was generating these extra tokens or extra credits. So when he had 5 or 6 resources sitting on the table, he had like 4 extra credit tokens.
Ooh.
I mean, when you're sitting there and staring at 10 resources essentially to play stuff. And so then the big stuff starts coming out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or to your point, or like you said, like 3, all of a sudden he's got 3 units ready for the next round because he played 3-3-3, and you're like, oh my goodness, if he has the cards in hand. And there was one that Bert played, one leader where it was, I think it was, a leader that comes over and discard the number of cards in your hand to create credits. And I was like, wow. And so if you've been drawing a lot of cards or being able to do that, then that comes in pretty valuable if you get the cards that allow you to be able to add or supplement your hand as you're playing. So that's kind of, it's interesting. I like that.
Which I think will be fun as we play this Escalation League is to start merging in some of these other cards. And then when we're done, we just build our own deck and see what we can come up with when we understand the cards better. I like this kind of format because you're kind of playing, it's forcing you to kind of play with the same cards each week with a few new ones that you're just learning the cards as you play. And then you're playing against others and seeing how they use their cards. So it's good education.
Well, I'm glad it continues. We were having fun with each other as we were doing in our texting. We were talking about all the card games that we've played, how many are rest in peace with us. But we all, regardless of how many there are, Netrunner, Lord of the Rings, LCG, and then we just kept going down the line of games we played. We've always enjoyed these games. It's just funny how many we have played over time,
Yeah.
And hopefully, this one will go by the wayside too, but hopefully no time soon.
Sure. That's why I have fun with these guys, y'all. I say, hey, have you seen the new TCG that came out doing that all the time? The running joke is Riftbound. We talked about it last year. It's still extremely popular. It's probably the most popular new game right now to the table. He said it's just killing over there right now. But it's funny because today a new TCG came out on Kickstarter. Cyberpunk TCG, which is based on Cyberpunk 2077, which is the video game. This is crazy. So as of this recording, this Kickstarter's been up for 8.5 hours. It's already at $6.3 million.
That's just on. It's like, okay, I think it's like 40. I can't remember how much the 2 starter decks are.
They're 50 for 2.
50
for 25 piece.
Okay. I'm like, it's almost like, okay, I'll throw 50 at this. If this thing, we've been altered on some stuff like this.
But I called altered. The day at Gen Con we saw that, I said, this business model is not going to go over, and it did not go over.
It did not go over. But here, it's be interesting to see what their business model is. But still, that's a lot of product out there for people, but they may be trying to flip it.
Yeah, 100%. And here's the thing is, there's a boost. The booster box you get is going to be very unique. And yes, 100%, there is speculation going on. I'm tempted to get a booster box and flip it because the booster box now, because all these stretch goals are being met, is going to have all this extra stuff in it that a normal booster box will not. Now, I did that with Altered. I flipped a box of Altered because it had extra stuff in it too. Thank goodness, because the game wasn't worth it. But anyway, what I appreciate about this right here is you don't have the Riftbound issue. If you want to play this game day one, you back it, you're guaranteed to get it. Mm-hmm. This is a much better move for somebody who's trying to launch a TCG. Riftbound? Oh, I'd love to play day one. Sorry, you can't get it. 2 months later, I'd love to play Riftbound. Sorry, you can't get it. This fixes that problem.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we may just have to put a flyer on there. I may have a little money just so we can try it out, see what we think of it. I never played the video game, always wanted to, but I just haven't done it yet.
Me too. But it's interesting. My youngest son, who never played it, bought it for the Switch too, and he said it's actually a really, really, really good game.
Yeah, I heard that it after they fixed all the crap, that it became a really good game. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, and we've talked about this probably 100 episodes ago, where why are games coming out and you have to basically you do have beta releases or whatever you want to call it, testing, but technically the way I feel is they're doing testing by releasing the game and really seeing what's broke and then saying, oh, okay, now we need to fix it because we didn't catch this, and it saves them a lot of development time. Let's the player base may piss people off, but hey, we've already got their money.
And I will say a last thing, Cyberpunk 2077 was one of those that it's by a company that did Witcher 3. So, a major company, people were super excited about it. And because it had so many problems, it put a big stain on this company. But within the following year, they came out with an expansion and fixed everything. And a lot of people came back. And it is a well-loved game today. And I asked my youngest son, he went, no, he said, as far as like a fun action RPG, he said, it's a really cool world to play in. So I may pick it up sometime because it's cheap now. It's been out so many years. Especially on Steam, it's dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap. Okay. Well, maybe if I break away from what I'm playing now or what you're going to make me play here in coming months. Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving over to something else. I don't watch reality shows. I'll admit I'm old enough to remember when the very first reality show, Survivor, was on the air. And I remember sitting in the control room watching the show, and I was in the control room where we controlled the power, make sure we met the load, and I watched the load shootout on the final episode. I mean, it just ran out of here because it was the final episode of Survivor, and reality shows just kicked in. So we're down at my daughter's, and they're like, have you ever watched this show? And I said, no, I don't watch reality shows. I don't like them. They're stupid. And I know that's not being nice, but they don't speak to me. Well, my son-in-law looks at me and goes, well, this is kind of like the game Mafia or Werewolf.
Is this with Alan Cummings?
Boom. Traitors.
Yeah, I've never watched it, but I saw trailers and I went, okay, so this is like a televised version of Werewolf.
And it's, they won an Emmy in 2025 for season 4, but we were watching season 3 with them. And unfortunately, my wife, I go, why are you into this? She goes, I don't know. I don't know if it's the stupidity of the people, because this series has a bunch of stars from Survivor, Big Brother, The Housewives. And I'm looking at them, I'm going, how can you people, I know we get to see what the producers want us to see. We don't see all the conversations and all that. I mean, I got a feeling if I was on this show, there would actually be a physical murder, because it's just like, why are y'all still talking like this? This is obvious. I mean, maybe it's the gamesmanship, but yeah, the Traitors. So I've got to now invested enough into it where I have to see the end of it to find out who wins. They were sitting there in they do this round table thing, and they're sitting there debating. And I'm like, first off, that the thing holds true. If you protest too much, you are obviously it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is my common rule of thumb whenever I play a social deduction game. If you start talking way too much, you're it. If you're quiet to the point of being too quiet, you're probably it as well, to not draw attention. So there is that fine balance. I'm like, you people, this is not hard, but there are a couple of people in there who do an excellent job of throwing blame or diverting people to get the scent off of them. So there are some good players from that standpoint, but I'm just like, oh my goodness. If you ever are really hard up on watching one of these, just take one season. It's on, I think, Peacock live on, streamed on Peacock.
Okay.
So it might be worth you just saying, okay, I see how some people enjoy this.
Okay.
Everybody's crying because he got eliminated. I loved him. I'm like, you didn't love him. Move on.
I think I've suggested this before. It's talking about smart, like really mind games. Did you ever watch Devil's Plan?
You've mentioned it. No, I have not. I'll put that one out there.
Only because they're not stupid. They are extremely intelligent, and the way that these smart people manipulate each other, it's well done. And the games they play are just wild. I'm like, whoever came up with these games is just a brilliant game designer and needs to release some board games. That sort of deal.
And I'm sure these people aren't stupid. It's just the show makes them seem that way. And that's the sad part of it. I've got to give them a benefit of the doubt, because obviously They're on these games and they win money. So who's the stupid one? Me for not being able to do this.
Sure.
All right. So an interesting thing showed up on, yes, we're a podcast, but of course we, go out and see who our competition is periodically.
We do?
Okay, that's a lie. So I don't. But I'm scrolling through YouTube trying to see what new builds are out there for Guild Wars 2, and a podcast shows up called Dropping Names. Now you probably have not seen this one or heard this one.
I'm not. Mm-mm.
All right, it stars Brent Spiner and oh my God, his name number one. Oh, Fracas, Jonathan Fracas.
It's like number one?
Yeah.
Star Trek, Next Generation.
Star Trek, Next Generation. So Data and number one.
Okay.
They're starring there, and they have people on their shows, and they're talking about, and they're doing an amazing job. They've got the leather chairs. They've got this, kind of like sitting in a smoking lounge, that kind of atmosphere. And they're talking about their careers and how they've interacted with various people. And anytime they say someone's name of significance, they'll ding a little bell. It's hilarious because Brent Spiner wants to kill the bell. Anyway, because Jonathan's over there, ding, ding. But I bring it to your attention because recently they had Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion on.
Yep.
And listening to them talk and how they've interacted over their lives, it was really entertaining. I was like, okay, I may have to take a listen to this, which then led to Firefly animation show. Did you know that was coming out? Of course you did.
I did. You probably know that Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion have their own podcast.
Yes,
Once
they do.
We Were Spacemen.
Once We Were Spacemen. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so Nathan Fillion, over the course of about 10 days, was releasing these clips of like him going to the door of the cast of Firefly. The big announcement will be coming on March 15th. As of this recording, they were going to be at a convention. It just left my name, which one it was, announcing something. So my first guess was actually an animated show.
Okay.
Because I didn't think a real live action show was possible because of their schedules. Because Nathan's still in The Rookie, and Monica Baraka, whatever her name is also in a Fox TV show.
CBS Sheriff Country.
Oh, sorry. See, that's right. Because Vanessa's watched that a couple times. Yes, CBS Sheriff Company. So no, it's not. That's why she stopped watching it. But anyway, so yes, and that was my guess. And so it came out that, hey, we're going to do an animated show. Everybody's on board. We just need a home. So it's like they're ready to go. It's just they have no place to put it.
Wow. Really?
So what they're asking people to do is to, retweet their announcement and everything to try to find somebody to pick up the show in Netflix or Hulu, etc. to do it. They said they got a couple showrunners. It was like people who worked on Arrow, Flash, and they're a married couple. They've done a few things. And again, they got all the original cast members, and it would take place between the end of the season 1, the only season, and the movie. It would be in that window right there.
So is Ron Glass, did he pass away? I don't remember.
He did.
Yeah.
So they would have to find another voice for Book. The thing is, though, that's cool, but the beauty of that show was people like Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk, their physical acting is what makes it. And you're not going to be able to pull that off in animation.
No, you're not. You're not going to be able to do that. Well, shoot, even the short clip with Jane coming to the door with the hat on. I was like, I'm dying, I mean, Baldwin, I was like, that was, and they're filming it by themselves. They don't have each other standing there. Yeah. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this is so classic.
Or when they go to Gina Torres and she just looks up in the sky and Nathan starts looking up in the sky too. Yeah, you can't do that in animation. That's the only bad thing about it. And also, obviously, because of a lot of personal stuff that came out, Joss Whedon would not be a part of it. And honestly, I don't know how the show could have the same heart and soul without the person who gave it the same heart and soul. The only way to me it could have worked is if the other show co-runner, Tim Minear, could have done it. But Tim Minear is extremely busy with this popular show on Fox, 911.
Oh, I didn't realize that was his.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah. That is the co-creator, co-writer on Firefly.
I since I don't look at these things, I don't, I did not. That, of all the 911s, that one is, It has the best humor, the best interaction, the best, I don't want to say comedy, but it's just everybody plays so well off of each other in that show that you forget that, it's supposed to be a emergency show. It's just so well done. Okay. And a lot of it has to be, the writing behind it. So that's pretty wild. Yep. Okay.
So, he is the showrunner. So if he would have been the showrunner, I've been okay with it. If they would have gotten previous writers that worked on it, a Jane Espenson, a Drew Goddard, the comedian, the guy who wrote The Tick. Who was the author of The Tick?
No.
Ben Edlund. Yes, Ben Edlund wrote on Firefly, which had a lot of humor in it too. Yeah, Ben Edlund was the guy who invented The Tick. If they would have gotten any of those guys to be a part of the project, I'd have been more excited about it. But
yeah. What was the quote? What does that make us? Was it not Big Damn Heroes? What was it?
Big Damn Heroes, sir. Yeah.
Big Damn Heroes. Yeah. Still one of my favorite lines.
So, short episode. Our intro was 30 minutes long.
Well, I tell you what, we know how to fill time, don't we? There you go.
Fill time. What is?
You should put
time.
You should put the 5-minute thing at the beginning of this.
5-minute intro, 30 minutes later. Unfortunately, we have no 5-minute initiatives this episode, but we do have a couple reviews though. It's really hard for us to promote what sales are going on at Miniature Market because they constantly change. By the time we record it and it releases, a whole new sale will be out. Like, for example, right now, we got March Madness going on in the NCAAs, and so Miniature Market is running a special March Mania sale. They always have these really cool theme sales around things that are going on, holidays, etc. However, by the time this episode drops, it will already be over and there'll be another sale. So how do you keep up with all this? Well, one, you could just daily go out there and check over at miniaturemarket.com and see what the current sales are. You could join their newsletter where they'll let you know, oh, hey, we got a current sale going on. Or you can find their links to their social media pages where you can also see what's going on and see what deals are happening. These sales are where you want to find the best deals. They'll find big games. Don't forget, they also have cheap shipping for $5.99 for everything up to $100. After that,
did you say $5.99? That's almost the cost of one stamp in today's world.
That's true. $5.99 for a huge package. Doesn't matter the weight. As long as it's under $100, it's $5.99. It's like, well, Marty, what happens if it's over $100? That's free, baby. That's what that is. Head over to miniaturemarket.com. Check out all their deals and their fantastic savings on their games and shipping. All right, so there was a graphic novel that I started reading and never finished, and the story is, or the title was Manifest Destiny. This is like an alternative history about Lewis and Clark, who are asked by Thomas Jefferson, to go out west. But the thing is, though, they're going out there to defeat monsters. Out in the west, there's a bunch of demonic monsters and stuff that they have to face. So that's the alternative history part, because it wasn't really like that, in case you don't remember your history books. So there's a whole comic series about that it's actually pretty good. So there's a game that came out based on that called The Core of Discovery, designed by Jay Cormier and Sin Fung Lim. And Tony, when we got this, my first thought as I'm reading the rules, I thought immediately, this is Robinson Crusoe. To me, it felt like Robinson Crusoe, where you're exploring and trying to find supplies and stay alive as best you can to complete an objective. But once we started playing the game, this game is actually more of a logical deduction game.
I agree. I mean, and it's one that I cannot do. I kept fighting myself on trying to figure out the logic behind it. It almost made me like, the Turing machine, or what was the stupid one where we had to figure out put the runes with the right colors and the right locations in the right order. And I couldn't do that either. So I'm sitting here trying to figure this out on my turn. And y'all kept saying, no, that may not be true. I'm like, yeah, it is true. So how it's done is pretty.
That was a lot of words.
It was a lot of words.
This is a co-op game, by the way. So we're all working together. We're playing different characters as we try to search a map. Now, Tony, I think the board is really clever. You've got a dual layer board. It's a grid of 7 by 7, and you've got cardboard tokens that you put in each of these holes in this 7x7 grid. And under that, you're going to slide a map. You don't know which map it is. It's hidden from you, so you can't see it. And basically, that's the map that you're going to explore. So you have several maps, so there's a lot of replayability in the game. Each map has a different chart on the logic of how things are placed on the chart. And so there's like a legend saying, okay, if you ever, for example, find water, then guaranteed somewhere around that water is going to be at least one wood.
Mm-hmm.
Or it may say, if you ever find a TP, guaranteed somewhere around there's going to be a monster. And on your turn, it consists of, you must do one thing. You must explore. Explore is literally just going beside a spot that's already been explored, and adjacent to that, removing one of the tokens or the covers to the next area on the map, and it will reveal an icon. Maybe it's a supply, maybe it's the wood, maybe it's the water, maybe it's something else. And there's an objective that you're trying to go for. And I'm going to talk specifically about one, and it's not giving too much away because it's the first chapter. You're looking for monsters. Your goal is to try to kill 3 minotaurs. But you don't know how to kill the minotaurs until you find the forts. The forts will give you the secrets on how to kill a minotaur.
Well, they've done the scouting. They know how it is. Let's do some, a little theme here. They've been out. They've seen them at the monitors, and you're going out there and you're talking to the guys in the fort. Hey, and they're like, there's some
it's
minotaurs.
minotaur. He kept calling them monitors, y'all.
The minotaurs are out there, and this one's, he's kind of weak to this. So y'all need to be able to gather this up and be able to, in order to defeat him. So you're out there trying to kill these, trying to battle him. The exploration, the one action you have to do is a deduction among a group of people. Say, well, we really need these items.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we proceed? How can we find this? Well, we know this based on the one that has been already turned over. We know in this row there should be some water because we found some wood in that area. All right? That's one of the things. This reference card's detailing all this out for you. And okay, now that I found water and wood, does that tell me something else?
Mm-hmm. I mean, at some point in time, it is a straight guess. It's like there's a probability that this is going to be something. But there could be a point in time where you know exactly what it's going to be. It may be that around the water, you've uncovered 3 spots and none of them were wood. The 4th spot is wood. Water, wood, stuff like this is very important because as you explore, those count as time counters that's going to go onto a challenge mat. And the mat has 3 challenge cards. And each card will say, once you've put a certain number of time tokens on this card, you have to resolve this challenge. So we know, let's say, for example, the first one says, okay, this first challenge, if you want to succeed, you need to pay a wood, a vine, and water. So our backpack can hold items. It can hold these items. It can hold water. And we know that when, let's say, 2 time markers on top of this card, it will trigger and it says, you must resolve this challenge. At that point, I must pay those items. If I do, there's a pass on there. It says, okay, you pass, you get this. Or there's a fail. If you do it or choose not to do it, you may choose that those items are too valuable to you and you take the fail condition. And there's going to be 3 of these over the course of one day. And once that's resolved, you'll kind of reset everything. You have gear that you can use on your turn for free. You can buy the gear over the course of the game. During the night phase, you reset all this stuff, put out 3 new challenge cards, rinse and repeat until the game beats you or you meet the objective of the map.
You said the backpack, or where we're storing our resources. One of the things that's important when I first read the rules, I was thinking each character had one of these backpacks. It's a community backpack. One person is carrying this backpack around and they have a limited space in it. Now, if you can find a shelter, then that's great. And you can build a shelter, then that relieves you from being fatigued, which, is bad. You don't want to ever be fatigued.
Fatigued is basically you're carrying more items than you should be able to. There's 2 spots on the backpack. You can carry 4 things. If you carry 5 and 6, you'll be fatigued unless you got built a camp.
Right.
And there's a penalty for being fatigued at the end.
So you're moving along, exploring, trying to gather these resources, trying to be logical in how you're going to move, because of course you can only move certain directions adjacent to the one that you already come. But you can always go to a location you had already explored. You don't have to continue down a straight path. You can do what go back to where you want. I didn't use the word backtrack because there is a backtrack action. But after you explore, you then can take free actions. And like any of these games, one of the free actions is we all have characters and they have special abilities. So you could possibly use a free action of using a character's special ability. And we picked these at the beginning. Like mine was, hey, I could take one of my special gear cards, and if I don't want to use it anymore, I can get rid of it and pick up another gear card. There's gear cards. Marty talked about that from the standpoint, if you use a gear card, at the end, you'll be able to refresh it. And a gear card will give you the ability to, exchange resources or something like that. Make it become useful. A compass will help you move throughout the board. Now, when you uncover a monster, there can be some bad things that happen, such as a threat. You may remove a threat. And we'll talk a little bit about threats here in a minute, because threats are either monsters or misfortunes.
There are skull markers on a map, and that's what Tony's referring to. You're going to draw from a deck that could be either a monster that stays in play or some sort of bad event you have to deal with.
Yeah. And some of the misfortunes are one and done. Some have lingering threat or lingering misfortunes. And that's why you would need to get rid of it. And of course, to get rid of those, you got to spend some resources. You've got to do something from that perspective. There's these destiny cards that will give you the ability to do amazing things.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, is that's done through exploration. By clearing an entire column, that's how you get a destiny card. Clearing an entire row, there's a benefit. That's how you can discard a threat card, then draw a new threat card. So even clearing rows and columns have benefits. And as we played our games, we found that, we're so close to clearing this row. Let's go ahead and clear it and get rid of this threat, hopefully, sort of deal. So we did that too.
And then there's rocks on this board that block your progress. And then you have to figure out another route. Maybe there's a river that they couldn't, rocks indicating mountains here, but maybe the mountain was too high for them to climb. And therefore they got to go find a different path. And all this is set on the map that you put under that you don't know what it is.
There are 2 chapters in this base game. Their chapters are fauna and flora, but there's multiple maps per each of those chapters. So even though you may have beat one, you can grab a different map and it's going to be laid out totally different. So anytime that you play this game, you're not exactly sure which map is going to be in the board. And you have to play the same map multiple times before you'd ever start memorizing it. So there is a decent amount of replayability in here just by the multiple chapters and the different maps. 10 maps per chapter is pretty darn good. That's a lot of different maps. So here's the thing is that I went in thinking, this is just a survival Robinson Crusoe game. It kind of is that, because you are having to face these challenges. If at any point you do not have water is crucial. If you run out of water, the game immediately ends. But to me, at its core, it was a deduction game. And I love deduction games of trying to determine, all right, here's the map we've revealed so far. We really need a wood. Well, I know according to the legend over here, there is a 25% chance that there's a wood here, but there's a 50% chance there's a wood here. And so you start revealing based upon what you need and what the legend is telling you the good odds are around that area. Especially like, hey, if I find a Minotaur, to even beat it, I got to go find a fort first. So let me go back and reference the legend. What are forts near? And then I'll start looking for that particular thing and hopefully come across a fort, which will tell me how to beat that Minotaur that we found recently.
Right. If you're a fan of these cooperative type games, just mention Robinson or Pandemic or any of the classics, what this brings differently is the exploration. In my opinion, it's one of those things that I don't remember seeing in this type of mechanism, which is requiring you to be logical in how you go about in solving this puzzle. And the balance is something that we always see in these resource cooperative games is, what do I want to give up to achieve the objective? And is it the right move? Am I going to pay for it if I do this? Am I going to end up, unfortunately, giving up these resources that I'm going to need later, but I really need to build a fire. I really need to create a shelter at this time. That's what we love about these co-op games. And I really want to discard these cards now to travel when I could use them to solve a pandemic. Same thing here. I've gathered these resources that are limited on our backpack. When do I want to give them up? And those are the hard choices you have to make.
Yeah. And it has the classic thing at the end of the day. You got to feed everybody. Got to make sure to have at least one food and also have some water at the end of the day. So it's very thematic. Again, and if you've read the graphic novel, it follows a lot of the same things. The monsters and stuff you run across are going to be the same ones that's in the graphic novel Manifest Destiny. So when I found out this was a deduction game, it really immediately went up on my list as something I really wanted to play. And as a deduction game, I really enjoyed it. It was tense. There was a lot of discussion. I love the shared backpack. And it will be a different game every time you play. And it doesn't take that long to play. I mean, we finished in like 45 minutes. Quicker if you lose.
Oh, yeah.
You're not really good.
I agree with that. The same thing can happen for you in pandemic.
Yes.
Well, I will say this is not going to be as simple as a setup of just putting the little disc back on there. You're going to have to swap maps if you want to replay that if you have a quick fail. So you'll have to redo that. You can pretty much keep everything else, but you will have to swap out the maps. That's key.
So this is Core of Discovery from Off the Page Games.
All right, I know y'all are tired of us talking about it, but if you go over to shopportalgames.com, you can see what is happening over with Ignacio right now. Now, he's teased a few announcements recently, a new game called Abroad. Go check out the video on this. Hear what the man has to say. But it's not out yet.
Gen Con.
He's teasing you.
What can I get instead?
You can get the best game ever, Nirishima Hex Anniversary Edition. I expect to see that in the Toy Strong Hall of Fame someday, okay, as one of the best board games. Of course, you can always get the new faction, Wireman. And then, we talked about it, one of the granddaddies of all co-op games, Robinson Crusoe Adventures on Cursed Island, the Collector's Edition, still available for you to pick up. Some of the games have gone by the wayside, but that one hasn't and should never go by the wayside. So head over to shopportalgames.com.
For anyone that listens to this show, they know I'm a big fan of the Arkham Horror, the card game. This game came out in 2016 from Fantasy Flight Games. I've been a fan of it since day one. In fact, at Gen Con, when they premiered it, I had a media pass that day, and I was standing at the table as they were setting up the demo so I could sit down and try it for the first time. So I've been playing for 10 years. A brand new core set has just came out. This is called the Chapter 2 core set, which is a way to reintroduce the game for those who missed all those cards that come out over the past 10 years and to kind of reset everything as a new kind of jumping in point for new players, which is why on this episode, I'm bringing in Vanessa, who I consider a newer player to this game. She has played a few times over
Wait a
the
minute,
years.
he's calling me a newer player. For those of you who know, they know I do not prefer card games. You're trying to peg me as a new player.
Well, okay.
Someone who doesn't typically play
Card games.
deck building games.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know because a lot of people may not know that. So
Yeah.
this is even better. It's like, okay, well, is there anything about this as somebody who's not a big fan of deck customization games? Is there any appeal to this? So we got the core box. We played through a couple scenarios and we tried out 4 different investigators.
Yes.
Now, for me, who's played the game, I was easily able to set it up and get it going. Let me just explain kind of an overview of how this game works.
And I have to say, too, that I wanted to play the game because I like the board game. So that's why I wanted to specify deck building, because I love the Arkham universe. I love Arkham games, but I like the board games with dice and making decisions from the dice.
Right.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yes, you've always liked rolling dice.
And taking names.
And
Well, with the board game, after playing this now, and you have said that if you like the Arkham board game, this gives you that feel, that dynamic, but it's portable. There is some setup time, but quicker than the board game, and plays quicker. Did it play quicker?
it depends on the scenario, but Generally, yes. It will, from beginning to end, from setup to put away, it will always play faster than the board game.
And takes up less space.
Yes.
It's a different way of playing what you're familiar with, which is how I felt. It was just a different way, but I was familiar with the investigators and the location and the theme.
This is based on Arkham Horror.
Yes.
It takes place in Arkham, which is based off, a lot of this is based on H.P. Lovecraft stuff that he came up with, the cosmic horror type scenarios. In this game, each player is going to play as one investigator. Typically, there's going to be a map set up on the board. Now, what I've always appreciated about this game is that cards are used as maps, as location as maps. That gives a lot of variability to the game because just by setting out cards in different locations, you create a whole new map, which gives a lot of design space for coming up with future locations. You can go to New Orleans or Paris or Arkham just by changing cards.
Yeah. And I see the benefit of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so a typical turn action is going to be at the very beginning, a doom token comes out on the board, which is bad because you're playing through a scenario. And to progress through a scenario, there are these cards called the acts, which the investigators are trying to get through. They're trying to progress through all the act cards.
And there's like three.
Depends.
Okay.
It depends on the scenario on how many act cards there are. And also there's agenda cards. Those are usually bad. And as the game progresses, it's going to progress through those agenda cards, which makes it harder against the players. So during the Mythos phase, you're adding Doom tokens to these agenda cards. And once an agenda card gets a certain amount of Doom tokens, it moves to the next agenda card. Mm-hmm. And then we go to having to draw a card from an encounter deck, which is always bad. It's something, a monster you have to deal with or a situation you have to maybe test for. And then we go into the main portion of the game, which is just taking our actions. We're playing the game at that point.
Yes. So I just want to say that, okay, you sit down to play the game. I appreciate this. You have a card that lists the phases of the game, and then on the back side, it lists all the actions that an investigator can take. Mm-hmm. There's Mythos, Investigator, Enemy, and then
Upkeep.
Mm-hmm. Those are the phases of a turn, of a round.
Typical things you can do on your turn. You can move from location to location.
Yep.
Fight monsters.
Yep.
Investigate it, try to get clues, which is typically you get clues to progress your story, your act cards.
Yes.
Hey, this act requires a certain number of clues. Once you get that many, you read this little flavor text, go to the next act, and progress the story.
Or you can get money or another card.
That's kind of all your basic actions right there, which does feel like the board game.
Yes, very much feels like the board game, and I appreciate the card where it's listed out because I forget and I have to go through each one.
Yeah. And then a lot of the game is based around what's called tests. There's these tests all throughout the game. A test to see if you can get a clue, a test to see if you win a fight, a test to see if you can evade a monster. You're faced with all these tests. What's different than the board game is a board game, a test is resolved by rolling dice and you're looking for successes. The number of dice you roll is going to depend on your skill of your investigator. Here, your investigators also have 4 different numeric values for different skills, such as agility, intellect, strength, and willpower is the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, willpower, intellect, combat, agility. That's it.
Yeah.
I said strength, but it's combat. And so, for example, if you're going to fight, well, you're typically going to look at your combat skill. And there's going to be a value to it. The higher the value, the better. Let's say it's 4, and the monster you're going to go up against is, let's say it's also 4. If you meet or exceed that value, you're going to deal damage to it. Great. However, as opposed to dice rolls, you're going to stick your hand in a bag and pull a token out, which is going to be some sort of numeric modifier to your skill value.
It can either add 1, take away 1, instant fail, or instant win. Is there another one?
Oh, yeah. There's
Will it
plus
add
1,
to?
there's -1, -2, -3.
there is. Okay.
And then there's different tokens with different symbols on them.
Yeah.
And every scenario, the symbols mean something different when you draw those based on the scenario that you're playing. So that adds a lot of variability to the game also. And these tokens are pre-populated at the beginning of the game, depending on how hard you want to make it.
Okay.
There's easy, and
We must not have made it too hard because I don't remember pulling a -3 or +3.
So there was, it goes from like easy to difficult. And those
Were we playing easy?
Yeah, we were playing easy. Instead of rolling dice, you're going to pull a token, add that to whatever your skill value is. As long as you still match or exceed the number you're testing against, you're going to pass. That is kind of the entire game in the nutshell.
Whew.
Because and the scenario is going to eventually walk you through. Here's your eventual goal to win the game.
Yeah. And you get it in bits and pieces. First, you got to do I think we had to find 6 clues, and then we were able to move to a different area. And then we had to kill the big bad. And we did that by every 2 clues did a damage. And
Yeah. So everyone that you play is going to be different. And that's kind of the flow of the game. The appeal of this game to me is that you can have a campaign where a campaign may be made of multiple scenarios. In the base box, you're going to start out with, you get 5 investigators that come with it, which is going to cover all the different types of classes: Guardian, Seeker, Mystic, Rogue, and Survivor. Guardian's good for fighting, Seeker is good for getting investigations, Mystic uses magic powers, etc. They all have little basic abilities or characteristics that they have. And then you have a campaign in the box that consists of 3 scenarios. And after you play a scenario, you're going to get experience points that you can spend to swap out cards in your deck. So you can add better cards to your deck. And that's what I like about this game, because it's making your character stronger over the course of the story. So as you play, you keep playing with the same character, but they get better and better over time. And obviously, probably the campaign you're playing against is going to get harder and harder over time.
did we do that?
We have not.
Okay.
Yeah, we did not. We just kept the base one. But what we do is go into the second scenario. I would take the experience points that we have and swap out some cards and maybe take one of the cards that you had and give you a better version of that the next time that we play. So that's where it almost feels like it's like a role-playing game. You start out like at level 0 and you get experience and you get better and better over time.
Definitely you've been playing this for a while. So for an experienced player, it's a great new set. Like, it felt new and different to you. Was it the characters? The investigators were new investigators?
They were new investigators, and additional, there were new cards. Now, what I do appreciate is the cards in here are more basic. They're not overly complicated, which is why I wanted you to sit down and play, because you don't play a lot. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like once you kind of understood the flow of the game, could you read a card and kind of figure out, okay, I understand how this card works?
Eventually. Yes, I could. The biggest problem I had, the cards that I could pay and put into play to keep down all the time and use them all the time, are the ones that were to just stay in my hand. I had a hard time differentiating between the two of those.
Gotcha.
Like, I did have to keep asking you, can I put this one into play? Can I just play this one now? I had a hard time with that. And I think that was asset cards and
event. So there's asset cards, skill, and event cards. Asset cards go into play on your tableau. Guns, weapons, clothing, hats, jewelry. Event cards are like pay them, do what's on the card, discard them. One and done. Skill cards are used when you're actually taking a skill test. Hey, if you're taking a skill test, I'm going to also play this card, which will typically help me out and boost my skill. And
is that how they were written?
Yes.
Okay.
Event, asset, and skills. So in the upper left-hand corner, just by knowing, okay, assets always go into play on the table.
Yeah.
Events are one and done. Skills are only used during skill tests.
Yeah. So for some reason, it took me a long time. It took me a while to get the hang of that. We played 2 rounds. I played with a new investigator, Jeannie Barnes' sister.
Abigail.
So it was a pre-made deck.
Yes.
And I drew every depressing card that you could draw. It felt like Arkham. I felt like I was taking horror after horror. And that one didn't go well.
No, it did not. So she's a survivor, which to me is a harder type of class to play.
Yeah.
She negates damage, takes scant damage, gets
Yeah.
rid of it.
But
So-
we looked, after we played it, then we looked through and there were cards and you could build a deck to where if you had those cards, you could make like a little machine and keep it going.
Yep.
I just happened not to draw good cards.
Right. And it's also, the more you play, the better you understand the deck and you kind of know what you're looking for.
Yeah. Now, the next one I played was Daniela.
Yes. The Guardian. Daniela, I believe.
Daniela.
Daniel with an A at the end.
I think we're anyway. She's pretty bad.
Bad isn't good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I loved playing her.
Yeah, she's a mechanic with a wrench.
Man, she had a wrench, she had a gun, she had all kind of stuff. She did some damage with that broken bottle. She was a lot of fun to play. But when you draw cards, that's just like dice. You roll dice and the dice aren't in your favor, or it's just the cards weren't in your favor. But the thing about the cards is you have ways within the game to get rid of cards, draw more cards, move your cards around.
So that's what appeals to me as a person who does like card games. Ooh, I'm going to tweak this deck so I can go into my discard pile and get this back into my hand and use it again, that sort of deal.
Yeah.
And again, I also like the progressing story. I talked all like how about the progressing characters. I just like the progressing story where through a campaign, you keep playing, get further into it. The board game was kind of a one and done. It's like, okay, we're going to play this scenario. Okay, that's it. That's it.
true.
We're done.
That's
so
true.
That's the end of that story.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's multiple chapters of a book.
Yeah. We ran into one thing that I understand resources, getting your resources, which is basically your money. And there was something written on the card. Sometimes it was written as supplies, ammo. I think there was something else. And we did have to go back, but it is in the rule book where we found that was essentially your resources. So you have some cards where you can put X amount of resource tokens that represent ammo or a first aid supply or whatever within the game. So I did have a little bit with the terminology there, but we looked it up and it is written in the rules that supplies mean your resources.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that takes me to the rule book and how is it. So the original game was broken up into two rule books. There was a learn to play and there was a full extensive rule book that had all the rules in it. This is kind of combined. So the beginning of the book tells you how to set it up, tells you how to play it. There's a page for each of the archetypes so you can understand how the archetypes work and what's expected of them. And then at the very, very back is a glossary of all the terms that you might need during the course of a game. So I appreciate one rule book, and anything that I was questioning, I could look in here and find out. I also just saw that Fantasy Flight has released a document called the Arkham Horror Grimoire, which is an extensive PDF online, which breaks down the rules even more, that if you ever need anything, if you're having trouble finding it in here, there is an online document too for finding that they can also update over time. So as new things are added, they can keep updating this grimoire with the new abilities, etc., that may come up as they progress with this second chapter. So let's talk about what's in the box itself. 5 investigator decks, 1 campaign consisting of 3 scenarios, and tokens. Now, here's is a huge upgrade over the original core set. The tokens that came with the original core set was just mainly health, sanity, doom tokens, clue tokens, and all those are here. But what's some of the new things are arrow tokens that are used to allow you to put between locations so you know what direction they go. Sometimes they're bi-directional. Sometimes going from one location to another, you can only go in one direction. Those are brand new added to it, which I appreciate. There's investigator tokens that you can use instead of your little player cards for tracking where you are on a map. The additional tokens are a huge benefit. Also, I like this too. Your resource tokens used to just come in 1s. Now there's 1, 3s, and 5s.
Oh, yeah.
So that makes it, because you get a whole stack of these resource tokens. It'd be great to trade in 3 for 1, so you just have like 1 token instead of 3. By the way, there's also a chaos bag for putting in your mythos tokens for drawing out of the bag. But we also got some GameGenic products. GameGenic has released acrylic versions of a lot of these things, The connector tokens have acrylic version, but the best thing is they also have acrylic Mythos tokens. So when we played in the past, I put my tokens in little coin capsules, little plastic, and sometimes they would come apart inside the bag.
Oh, yeah.
They'd fall apart. Now they've come out with acrylic tokens, which feel great, and a nice bag to put them in.
So they're extra.
Yes, that is separate from what comes in this box. I'm just saying that GameGenic now has accessories for this game. Tokens, deck investigator boxes for storing a deck for a character. You also have card sleeves, play mats. I'll let you use the brand new play mat, which is a little player mat for showing you different locations where you put your guns or your weapons or your coat or your jewelry, etc. All that's brand new. And so it's always top notch. I've been using it with the Star Wars Unlimited stuff, so it's good too.
I can imagine doing the Mythos tokens without it being acrylic.
Well, we did it before. I just had them in plastic capsules.
You had them, yeah. And they would come apart and the pieces would come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the play mat was awesome too. See, for the first time playing, I just think that's what it all comes with.
Right. So, again, there's no play mats or anything with the core set, but you can buy these extra accessories, which will be out there. So, the core set, I think, is a good jumping in point.
I agree, and I really liked the story.
Yeah, and we got a couple more scenarios that we can play through. They just released a trailer. So this released officially yesterday. We're recording this on the 21st.
Oh,
it officially
okay.
released on the 20th. So this is now available in stores. And they released a really cool trailer for the game yesterday that I need to show you, which is kind of a trailer for the scenario that you're playing through and who's the big bad that's going to be in it.
Yeah. So did you go over? Tell us, for those who are familiar with Arkham, who are the investigators in it?
Daniela Reyes is the Guardian. We have Joe Diamond, a Seeker.
Joe
which
Diamond.
We've seen around before.
Now, he's been in other games.
He has been,
yes. Yeah.
Trish Scarborough, who is
Yes,
the rogue.
yep.
Dexter Drake, the magician, who's a mystic. And if I first heard about him from the novella, we got a book down there that has his story in it. Isabella Barnes, who is Jenny Barnes' sister, who you actually find out. There was a graphic novel that came out
No, you
last
said
year.
Abigail. It was Isabella.
I did say Abigail. It's Isabella.
Yeah.
Isabella Barnes is the survivor. And there's a graphic novel, if you want to hear her story.
Yeah.
Jenny, basically, she's kidnapped, and Jenny goes to try and find her.
Yeah.
And finds her.
Let me ask you, as someone who doesn't play, so we get the core set, we open up, we have these decks that are pre-built.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to play the game, you have to use every one of the cards.
You use everything that's in the deck.
Okay.
In addition, they also have a whole stack of investigator cards that you can start mixing into the deck. Mm-hmm. So these are what we would use to upgrade our existing decks. Like with Daniela, here's a Guardian card. You might want to swap this in with one of the cards that's already in there. So they give you cards for upgrading your decks in the campaign too. So this box has everything you need to play a full campaign, including additional cards to modify your deck.
I liked it.
And they also give you little deck dividers. I've put them down there so that you can see them, so that you can separate the different types of investigator cards. It's a shame that they're horizontal dividers because I just bought a brand new storage system, but the cards are stored vertically. So that won't help me too much. If you're a new player, for sure, this is a good jumping in point. If you're a veteran player, that's going to be up to you. You've got a ton of cards already. If you've been playing for a while, you've got a lot of cards. These do give you some new investigators you may want to check out. Continuing on, they do say that, by the way, a lot of these cards that's in here is going to be required in future campaigns. The scenario cards are going to be required in future campaigns. So in that case, you might want to pick it up. The Grimoire does list, it's like, okay, if you don't have the second chapter, you can replace these sets of cards from ones from the original set, which is good. So if somebody just says, I just don't want to invest in it, it's too much money or whatever like that, then they can swap out cards they may already have with what they recommend for future campaigns.
And this is Chapter 2?
Yeah, it's called Arkham Horror Chapter 2. It nowhere says on the box Chapter 2, but that's what they're calling it. So it's their second core set. It's kind of a new launching point.
So what was the first one?
Just the core set.
Oh, okay. And then there's been several in between.
Not core sets, but there's been many, many, many campaigns.
Okay.
Over the course of time, and each campaign will give you more cards. So there's just a ton of cards out there that you can no longer get, is the thing too.
Oh, okay.
So people are like, I want this card. It's like, sorry, we don't print that anymore. So it's like, okay, fine, let's do a little bit of a button reset. Let's reset, start at this point, and now we'll make sure that everybody can get what they need, because also coming out in April is going to be 5 new investigator decks that are what's called evergreen, which means they will always be available. No matter when you play, you can get these decks. So there's even 5 more investigators coming. So they're quickly escalating the game with a lot of new cards and characters.
Okay, so Chapter 2 core set, you've already said it, but you get the rule book, you get 5 investigator decks, you get the Mythos tokens, you get all of
Cardboard
those.
Mythos tokens.
Cardboard
not the
Mythos
acrylic.
tokens. You do get a bag to put them in.
You do.
You get the cardboard dividers,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get the cardboard like direction dividers between the cards.
Oh, yeah, the little connector tokens.
yeah.
Between the location cards.
Connector tokens, and then I'm missing something.
All the required health tokens, damage tokens, resource tokens.
Yes.
It's
And even with 1s, 3s, and 5s.
Yes.
With the,
yeah. So everything you need out of the box, and a nice 3 scenario campaign to begin with.
yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a lot in the box.
Yeah.
It's a good
Lot in the box.
It's a good jumping in point. So the question is, Miss Vanessa,
Okay.
now that we played the first scenario basically twice because we want to try out in different investigators.
Yeah.
Are you interested in letting me, if you don't want to, modifying your deck, Daniela, with some new stuff and trying out the next 2 scenarios and completing the campaign?
I would be interested, but I don't know if you need to do anything to her deck.
Make her better. Because typically how this works is the next scenario is going to be harder. So they kind of expected you, this is probably going to be a better deck you're using anyway, so you need to make it a little bit harder.
Yeah, well, I could look at her cards to see what it is. Not that I could make it hard, but just to look at the
I
card. Now,
love
I'm
it.
not saying I'm doing it tomorrow. He's over here clapping.
So
It is fun enough to do tomorrow. It's just responsibilities get in the way of the fun.
So what's cool is like I can show you, like, here are the cards that would go in your deck, and you can look through them and go, let's put this one in. All right, sweet. Well, we can like start swapping out, and that's the fun. What's fun about this game is the game outside the game of going through the cards and decide how you want to build your deck before you even come and play the game. That's why I've played things like Star Wars Unlimited and stuff, because part of the fun is the making of the deck and tweaking of the deck when you're not even playing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that and appreciate it.
All right. Arkham Horror Chapter 2 Core Box is out now.
Go get it.
For new players, this is the one you want to get. For veteran players, it's your call. There are some good stuff in here. There are some...
No, you want to get it.
Oh, there is one thing that I have to say before we go with. There's been a lot of discussion about the art on the cards. Now, art is subjective. Some people may like stuff. Some people may dislike it. To me, the art is, for some reason, a little bit different. The original set was extremely consistent. It was a very distinct, detailed art, dark, grisly. There's a lot of art in these cards that don't seem to match what some of the other art is, and I'm not the only one saying this. So again, art is subjective. It's up to you. There's some cards that it's like, this doesn't really look like an Arkham Horror card. So I don't know whether they've gone in a different direction. It seems like some of the investigator cards are more bright, which is odd because there's nothing bright and happy in Arkham.
It is if you win.
It is if you win.
Well, I have not heard you say that, and I really like the art. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't see any of the art on the other cards. Mm-hmm. All of the board games I've liked. I thought the monsters were excellent this.
It seems that the grisly stuff, the monsters and stuff look fantastic. I think it's the investigator cards, as some people say, just look... It's a different style. Some of the art is just a different style. So if you're a veteran player, you may look at the cards and go, the art seems different. Nobody's been able to pinpoint exactly why or whatever. Just if you pick this up, just know that has been said.
Interesting. I thought it was excellent, and they looked like I would imagine them to look.
Well, perfect. Then for new players, that's what you want to hear. It doesn't matter. It fits what you expect it to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is Arkham Horror, Chapter 2, core set, out now. And 5 new investigators will be coming up soon. And as a tease for that, if you go look on our YouTube page or Instagram or X, I just released a preview of 4 new Survivor cards that's going to be included in those sets. So go check that out.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
All right, last episode I talked about, I finished up Final Fantasy VII, gave my little review. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, a game was released on the Switch I'd never heard of that had been out on Steam that I immediately went, for $15, I'll try this. And I have been hooked ever since. Mini Shoot. This is a twin stick shooter. And I probably talked about this on the show before. One of my all-time favorite games is Robotron, a twin stick shooter. Smash TV, games like that. This Mini Shoot is the exact same thing, but you're on a map. It is almost like it's a Zelda-ish type game where you're moving around a map, fighting monsters, collecting heart pieces to increase your health, collecting crystals to level up your ability, like upgrade your fire rate, upgrade how fast you move, upgrade how much damage your bullets have. Go around, try to fight a dungeon, go in the dungeon, which feels like a Zelda dungeon. You have little mini bosses around. You're trying to find the main boss key to go to the main boss to play this one main boss, which has multiple phases like a classic Zelda boss has. And then you finish that map and you move on to the next section of the map and try to complete that dungeon. It is so freaking addictive and I can't stop playing it.
Okay, I'm watching the videos on it right now and enjoy. No.
You're not a twin stick shooter?
No.
Really?
Did not. My left hand and my right hand, they don't get along. I'd be my right hand pushes right, my left hand automatically goes right. Bam, I run into something. Okay, I'm done.
I don't know what it is. It's just my jam. It's always been my jam. And this is one of those extremely chaotic games. Like, I don't understand how I'm missing or not getting hit. And as soon as I realize how good I'm doing, I die. It's like when I'm in the zone, I am on it. And then I start patting myself on the back going, man, I'm doing good. What? Crap.
I'm not dead yet. Yeah. Bam. Yeah, mostly. And now you are. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you found. So, yeah, and once again, I'm costing myself money here. So the son-in-law said, you know what? You really need to listen to your buddy and you need to pick up Pokemon.
Did you do it?
I got to check which one he did. I think he got Fire Leaf, but I need to validate. I can't remember. So I will pick up
Red or Leaf Green.
Leaf Green. Yeah, I can't remember. Like
well, no, it's not.
That's two.
It's not Red Leaf.
Red Leaf. I know it's Leaf Green, Fire Red, or Red Fire, Green Leaf, whatever. And we were talking about it, and he was playing it the whole time when he was waiting. And I'm like, I said, but it's the mountain. He goes, you just got to suffer. And I'm like, oh. I said, so I got him on Nintendo. I think he's now on Nintendo Online, I hope. And so you and I will be able to trade and do my favorite thing of all time. What? You can't trade?
Nope. Not unless you're local.
That's stupid.
I 100% agree, which is why it wasn't a day one buy. They did not implement remote trading with friends. You have to use a local share. Like you have a cable between you. Like old school. No, not that it's not a cable. It's just you use local wireless connection. Yep. You can't trade remotely.
Well, which one had it where you could go online and trade?
Lots of them after that.
I remember the first time you could go out and go to a trading thing and just put yours out there and somebody would trade with you.
You remember get Japanese ones?
Yeah. Those were always, I didn't know what it means. I know what the character looks like. This is so cool. Well, that is just close to stupid.
That's one quality of life improvement. I'm surprised it was not put in there. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Now I'm rethinking this. I mean, I'll see you weekly and I can trade you. Because the first thing we are trading is Magikarp. That is the first one we trade.
Oh, I love Magikarp. It's a pain in the butt at the beginning. My gosh, when he becomes...
I think it's Gyarados, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Gyarados.
Freaking amazing. A water god is what he is. Can you trade Pokemon? Yes, you can trade as they're fully compatible on a local wireless adapter.
Well, the Switch is a wireless. When it says local wireless adapter, what does that mean? If we're sitting in Qdoba's and we're on their wireless network.
Okay, here it is. You can trade Pokemon between Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Switch using local wireless communication, but it requires 2 different Switch consoles. Fine. The games support local multiplayer in the Pokemon Center Union Room, though online trading is not available. So you and I can trade at Qdoba, no problem.
So do we have to be on their network to do this?
No, you don't have to be on. You can talk to each other without. You can establish communication with each other. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay. But still, well, I'll do my favorite thing is always, start up a game, get the starting Pokemon, play it for 20 minutes or whatever, get to the trading zone, then trade it to you. And now you've got the one starter, and then go restart the game, get the other starter, send it to you. God, I remember doing that. Going to Blockbusters, renting the other cartridge.
Well, did you ever play Fire Red, Leaf Green?
No, I'm thinking the originals.
Right. Okay. I don't know if I can do it. Was it Mountain Dew? What is the stupid name of the mountain?
Zion? Not Zion. I don't know.
I can't remember whatever that mountain is. I'll
think about it. We'll think about it some more. We'll discuss it. We'll see what we can come up with. There may be better games to play.
If you get it, I'll get it. So you just have to let me know and then know which one.
It's a $20. It's a $20. Just have not eat at Qdoba's for one night. So all right.
Mount Moon. Yep. Had to look it up.
I forget the sound the bats.
Famous for Zubats.
Zubat. I forget the name of those the sound they made.
Horrible sound. Horrible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Did you go cast your vote for the 2026 finalists for the Video Game Hall of Fame, sir?
I believe I did. Let me pull up that list again that you have in the show notes. All right, let's talk about what these are. So here's, for those who don't know this, the 2026 World Video Hall of Fame game finalist, very quickly: Angry Birds, Dragon Quest, FIFA International Soccer, Frogger, Galaga, League of Legends, Mega Man, Rappa the Rapper, RuneScape, Silent Hill, Skyrim, Tokimeki Memorial, and that's it. Of those I would vote for, it would probably... I was torn. This won't win, but I think it should be Dragon Quest.
Okay.
The reason why is Dragon Quest was essentially the foundation for all Japanese role-playing games. It was kind of like the first. It came out in 86. It set a genre. That's it. I mean, that's all. It's like Doom, or was Doom first? No, Wolfenstein set, the first-person shooter.
Okay.
A cornerstone. So
for me, it was between Galaga, which I played the mess out of. That's kind of like your Smash TV. That's my Smash TV, Galaga. And then, of course, Elder Scrolls V.
I knew he was going to say, I couldn't do Skyrim.
I understand.
Why Skyrim over any other Elder Scrolls?
I think that one set the benchmark for people really love about it. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, I played 4, but it didn't grab me, but 5 did. The endless questing, maybe, never the completion. The tech trees, as I call them, and I know they're not. But sad about it is, and it's the common running gag is, everybody is a stealthy archer in that game.
I actually loved Oblivion. Skyrim was amazing, don't get me wrong. But last year when they did the remake of Oblivion, I'm tempted to go play it again. There was a lot of quality of life improvements that was made in that game. My youngest son played it and said it's actually pretty good. So I may pick it up sometime and go back and experience Oblivion again, because I stopped playing when I became a vampire and I couldn't freaking get the right cure to fix it. So I couldn't go out during the day and it just ticked me off.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you want to be, but you're right. That's an option. But yeah. Now, one game, Frogger, I never got a frog across the road when I played.
Oh, come on.
You never got. I could never get it to the lily pad. I would waste a quarter every time, and this game is so stupid. I was like, this irritates me. Now, I did play the mess out of some FIFA International Soccer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I enjoyed playing the soccer. It would have been, what was the system I had on that?
Super Nintendo?
It may have been. Yeah, it may have been Super, because I did that and the hockey when those came out. It may have been.
Oh, now hockey was a blast.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember which one I played on. But yeah, the soccer was fun, so I played it a lot. But it'll be interesting to see who wins. I got a feeling League of Legends is going to win.
I'm afraid it will. Because if this is really based on popularity vote, League of Legends wins hands down. It's not even close.
That's
But
right.
I don't know if that's the case. I don't know whether there's that the crowd voting is just a small portion of it.
Now, some of them I had not heard of. And for instance, like, RuneScape, the game has more than 300 million user accounts being played in over 150 countries and has achieved multiple Guinness World Records related to its updates and music. I don't think I've ever played RuneScape. I may have heard it, but I didn't realize how big it was.
Yeah. My boys played when they were young. It came after us. We were into other things by this point, but I know young kids just kind of really loved it when it first came out.
So over in our Discord channel, be sure to tell us what you think. We have an entire section on video games in our Discord channel that you can go to and tell us, hey, this is who I think should win. And I know I posted over there, and I hope some people went out to the link and made their votes known. With that, our short episode has come to a close.
It's not short. It wasn't short. I told you it wasn't going to be short.
Oh, well. With that, just keep rolling dice.
And taking names. Hey y'all, thanks for listening. Don't forget, we would love for you to go out, subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes, etc. Leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it. And also, go to our website, rolldicetakenames.com, find all the socials that you can follow us on, and join our Discord channel.
Hey, Marty, do you think our listeners are tired of the dad jokes for stingers?
I don't know. Are they tired?
Well, let's try another one. Hey, why did the cake cross the road?
I don't know. Why did the cake cross the road?
It saw a fork ahead.